Hello, hello, it's Coyote Christina, surfer, author, and dream weaver. It is week 9 and the final week of the Amazed and Amused book launch campaign. I've been doing an online campaign to get subscribers on my Substack account, as well as pre-selling Amazed, Amused, and Often Confused. You can go to tkcdreams.net to purchase in the pre-sale or book launch, or you can go onto Substack and hit subscriber for free. The goal is 20,000 subscribers, which is pie in the sky. And so it's probably not going to happen in the next 2 weeks or next 2 months, but I can make it like a 2-year goal. I just threw things out there. I like to dream big. And the other thing is 500 for the pre-sales. So hopefully maybe you can get to 500 pre-sales on the book. I'm hoping to do some author pop-ups, take the campaign and the book launch offline and go around to local coffee shops and yoga studios to share about Amazed, Amused, Often Confused. It is our Tuesday post, so Totem Tuesday. So we're going to learn about animal guides in the second half of the celebration stage, which is the final stage of that journey, that inner journey. My inner journey started out, or I started calling that when I was heartbroken. So it was my journey from heartbreak to joy, and now it's just a continual journey to joy. Doing the best I can to come into the present moment and appreciate this amazing, beautiful world that we are in, despite all the horrible things too. It's a pretty big challenge these days. So, and also this Tuesday is August 12th, and the Lionsgate portal is closing. So that annual celestial event is coming to a close. So make sure you put your intentions out there this one last time, and get some manifestation here in the next 12 months. All right, so the celebration stage is where we reclaim our birthright of joy and finding peace. We have learned that life is about the journey, not the destination, and arriving is a state of mind that we can cultivate each day. We arrive at the altar with no offering other than our hopes, our fears, and our dreams that we hold most dear. We lay all of them on the altar and find ourselves infused with an all-sustaining love that knows its unconquered power, its own unconquered power. And that's from Joseph Campbell, the hero. And we finally trust the universe to provide. So as we go into the second half, the altar is what the stage is called, or the second section, the second half of the celebration stage. Our gaze drifts skyward, captured by a movement above, and we are greeted by the majestic wingspan of eagle. The medicine of the sky fills our being, inspiring us and opening us to the possibility of living the life of our dreams right here, right now. In the meadows beyond the altar, abutting the sand dunes, we see a herd of buffalo that have been grazing since the beginning of time. They graze with ease, bathing in the sunlight and moonlight of millennia, knowing they will be well fed by Mother Earth. Buffalo is an embodiment of Mother Earth's abundance, and they bow to her as they graze. Continual reverence is their way of life. The peace that follows is unmatched. When we have a taste of buffalo medicine, we no longer worry about me, no more pity parties or victim mentality. Through reverence, we learn that we have come to serve, we seek to give, and the medicine of turkey gobbles up our fears and leaves us with a giveaway mentality that pervades this final stage, this beginning stage, this never-ending state of being once we arrive on the shores of the graces, where I am you and you are me. We reclaim our birthright of joy and become not only the generous protector of our inner world, but also a friendly bandit fighting for justice in the outer world. We don the mask of raccoon and dance unseen in the shadows of a new moon night. The wind howls and sings our dreams to life. We find that in darkness we are all the same, and every step we take that aligns with the pulsating rhythm of the universe frees our hearts and minds from the paradox of being too much and not enough. We arrive at an Ithaca of our very own making in the time frame provided by the universe. And then I'm going to read the last little bit of C.P. Cavafy, Constantine P. Cavafy. His poetry, Ithaca, is a very famous one. It's my favorite, and this is part of it. It says, "Don't hurry the journey at all. Better if it lasts for years, so you're old by the time you reach the island, wealthy with all you've gained on the way, not expecting Ithaca to make you rich. Ithaca gave you the marvelous journey. Without her, you would not have set out. She has nothing left to give you now." So here we go. Animal guides in the altar. So our animal guides for the altar section, this final section of the journey to joy, are eagle, buffalo, turkey, and raccoon. We're going to talk about eagle and buffalo today, and then we will go to turkey and raccoon on Thursday. So eagle stands for spirit, buffalo is prayer and abundance. This is more of an introduction to the altar. When we reach the shores of the graces and enter the celebration stage, we are not free of all ills. We are not instantly transformed, but we have learned to become immersed in the moment. We have stopped looking outward for affirmation and instead have turned inward for answers. We begin to understand what these ithakas mean in the first half of the celebration stage, and as we approach the altar of this sacred realm, we do not yearn for or depend on any particular outcome, but rather we delight in the journey and we celebrate our arrival in the land of the ancients, sacrificing our greatest desires and greatest sorrows on the timeless altar of the present moment. We build our awareness and become natives in the ancient land of the graces, finding our home in this once foreign and yet so familiar land. We learn to place all our conceptions of self on the altar and fully embrace the here and now. We have freed ourselves from ignorance and circumstance, if only for a minute or two, and we know that we will be okay. We have traveled the distance from tragedy to comedy, and we know the dark interior way that leads to the light. And that dark interior way is from the hero with 1,000 faces in Joseph Campbell. We arrive for the first time in this life, but most likely not the last. We are wise enough to realize there will be more heartache and more pain when we choose to love, but we also know that we are more powerful than we ever imagined. We transcend the mundane of the everyday on the wings of eagle. We have earned our right to use eagle medicine by accepting the state of grace ushered in by Swan at the beginning of the celebration stage. We have stayed true to our journey, and this opens us to embrace our inner power as our energy moves skyward towards freedom. We connect with the element of air, allowing us to soar to new heights. Our journey was initiated by feeling the pain that at one point felt lethal, threatening to take our life. Along the way, as we began to understand that these feelings would not kill us, we sought, worked, and practiced to become more and more aware and to find resources that would allow us to heal and grow. We approach the altar that serves as a gateway to the life of abundance, and we feel the power of praise and prayer as Buffalo materializes at our side, inviting all races, all creatures, all nations, and all life to share in the richness of this new land. We have taken the inner journey from heartbreak to joy, guided by so many animal guides and inspired by the natural world. We have done our best to clear out all the dark corners in the depths of our being, and we are working to fill ourselves with light and love. We have discovered that fear has no power over us if we do not listen to the doubt it creates. We raise our vibration, aligning with the melodic rhythm of the universe. We finally feel that the universe is on our side, no longer weighed down by what was, no longer reacting from a place of fear, but rather planning and acting and taking time to revel in the present moment. We each must seek our own truth and find the best ways to live and celebrate life. When we lay all our hopes and dreams and fears on the altar and pass through the cosmic gateway to the ancient land, we are practicing new ways of being and relating that support the truth deep within. We work to cultivate self-determination and uphold the inherent dignity of all living beings. When we enter this realm of abundance, we no longer wonder if we are too much or not enough. To be or not to be is no longer the question. The answer becomes, I am. And when we open ourselves to love at our core, it empowers us to embody our warrior spirit with a gentle heart, and we find the greatest gift we can give the world is that of our own self-transformation. So now we'll go to eagle. On the outstretched wings of eagle, we taste freedom and touch Father Sky. We glide into a life of abundance through the element of air on the mental plane of gratefulness. We have earned the right to call upon eagle medicine through hard work, understanding, and completion of the test of initiation. On our journey, we have not given into fear or given up on ourselves, and we have learned to be guided from within. To take flight, we must lay ourselves bare on the altar of the ancients, sacrificing all we know to gain entry to this never-seen but familiar land. When we lay our hopes and dreams on the altar, we are no longer dependent on any certain outcome. We are no longer caged by ignorance or encumbered by circumstance. We no longer follow the truth written by others. We have found that our truth is not about triumph or accolades. Our truth is about cultivating peace and striving to be fully human, an embodiment of love, knowing oneself well enough to follow the truth within with little regard for the consequences is where freedom lies. We take flight as our energy moves upward, lifting our spirits as we open to the endless possibilities of the sky. The realm of air unleashes the freedom to soar above the mundane of the everyday. Little effort, less worry when our only purpose is to fly. We find pleasure in the simple things, the blue of the sky, the smell of spring blossoms, the taste of salt water, the smile of a stranger, or the warm embrace of a friend. We look skyward and feel the awe of flying. When we see eagle high above, we are reminded of the majesty not only of this creature, but also of this life. Eagle asks you to give yourself permission to legalize freedom and follow the joy your heart desires. Great Spirit's breath lifts our wings, allowing us to gain a bird's eye view that can lead us through the dense forest of ignorance and circumstance. We have found our way with the aid of many animal guides, and once we have earned the right to use eagle medicine, we will no longer look outward for truth, but rather turn our attention inward. And the last one here, a few paragraphs about buffalo medicine. When we come to a place where we abide in gratefulness, life will never be the same. We are fully grounded, but not weighed down. And when this way of life creates daily reverence, buffalo comes to our side. We learn to graze with heads bowed, laying all our fears and desires on the altar. Honoring the power within, we finally trust the universe's ability to provide and strive to be guided by the rhythm of the everlasting one's pounding heart. With buffalo, we have no fear of others because the connection with the soul deep within connects us to the universal consciousness that runs through all creation. We have learned that the most important home is the mindset we create and maintain each and every day. There's no widespread panic when buffalo is near. We feel at home in our body, having made peace with ourselves. We no longer pray and expect results. We pray for strength and wisdom. Life no longer happens to us. Life happens. Anything more is what our perception makes of it. We invite others to join us and cultivate abundance by honoring all relations as sacred and by expressing gratitude to every living part of creation. The sacred smoke of the peace pipe unites all life, unites the male and female energies, and we become whole in the peaceful presence of a herd of buffalo grazing on the hillside. The sacred smoke rises to the sky and forms lines of clouds, lines of peaceful warriors that mirror the herd of buffalo. All have been sent to protect the oneness of creation and to provide the space and time for the metamorphosis from an old way of being to a new way of living, weightless and free. This appreciation is not for what we've received in the outer world, but is not only for what we have received in the outer world, but also for our connection to the peace within. We can only embrace buffalo medicine fully if we can accept and appreciate ourselves fully. We start by being grateful for every single part of us, even the parts we may not like all that much. That's a little excerpt from Amazed and Amused today. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you totally loved it and you hit that buy a pre-sale, buy a book. You will have it in your hands by the end of the year. Most likely. If I get a published deal, I don't have such a big control of the timeline, but I am going to move ahead. If I don't have a publishing deal by the end of October, I'm going to self-publish in November, and then I'll have copies in December that if you purchase now in the pre-sale, I will be sending them to you. So, all right, thanks for your time today. Take care. Bye-bye.